Today, I would like you to read an essay by Naomi Shihab Nye. She's a fairly famous poet, still alive in the United States, and her essay is called This Is Not Who We Are. It is on page 401 in that thick blue book that I gave you before you left. So, this is a picture of Nye. She is an Palestinian-American, but she was born in this country. She was born in St. Louis. Her father was born in Palestine, but he is an American citizen, and her mother was born also in St. Louis. So Naomi Shihab Nye, was 50 years old during 9/11, and she wrote the essay that you're going to read today about only a couple months after 9/11, and then it ended up getting published about 6 months after that. So the name of it is This Is Not Who We Are, because she's addressing the fact that Arab Americans were not happy, of course. I don't think anybody would seriously think that they were happy with the 9/11 terrorists, despite the fact that they have Arab in their ethnicity. That didn't make them first Arabs and second Americans. They were very patriotic for the most part. Obviously, there are bad apples in every group of people. So Nye wrote this as sort of a depiction of most Arab Americans' hatred and disgust and disagreement with the 9/11 terrorists, and also the sense of futility that Arab Americans had because they just felt like there was nothing they could do. A lot of people were turning toward them to sort of make things better or make people feel better, and they didn't know what to do. These were people that were crazy and flew airplanes into buildings and killed thousands of people. And the Arab Americans, like Naomi Shihab Nye, were just as helpless as we were. But it also, I think, describes not nearly as much as the disgust that Arab Americans had with the 9/11 terrorists, but it also describes a little bit of the fear that Arab Americans had at the backlash toward them. There was quite a bit. I realize that at this point, 19 years ago is a long time, and but you can imagine that there was a lot of discrimination that went on in the wake of 9/11, even with people who were not Arab or who were not Muslim. If they had brown skin, sometimes they were attacked for that. So here's what I want you to do. I chose this artwork as an example of the essay because, obviously it's an Arab woman with a hijab on, but it's the American flag, right? So I think that represents this essay pretty well. Read the essay. I don't think that it'll take you more than 10 minutes, probably less than that. And as you read the essay, I want you to look for a word that you already know the meaning of. So it's not going to be some complicated, out of the ordinary word, except that I want you to find one that Nye uses in a way that's unique. It doesn't have to be crazy unique. It just has to be used in a way that we wouldn't normally use that word. So I found 18 of them, and I'm going to go ahead and give you an example of one, and I'm sorry if this was the one that you were going to use. But the second word of the essay is idling. I'm idling in the drive-through line at a fast food franchise in Texas. Now, obviously, idling means, that we're in a car and we're not moving, right? We're just sort of, the car is on, but we're not moving. And she's in this fast food line. But I think she's also using that word, and maybe you don't realize this at the beginning. Maybe you have to read the whole essay before you come back and understand that the way she's using the word, but I think she's also using the word to mean that Arab Americans at this time in 2002 were idling, right? They were on, the engine was turned on, but they had nowhere to go. There was nothing they could really do. They felt very helpless and powerless at the time. So that would be an example of the kind of word that I want you to look for. I also want you to look for a sentence that reflects the main idea, and just one sentence. And there isn't just one, right? Like, I think all 70 of you could probably underline a different sentence in this essay, and it could represent the main idea of the story. And then after you do those things, there's an assignment for this essay, and you'll have it more than halfway done if you've done those two things. Okay, thank you.